evening and welcome to another edition of Make Wave and Lick Road. I'm your host, Dion Wesley.
And I'm your co-host, OJ Elrigan.
And tonight, with us in studio, we have no strangers to the TV, no strangers to Make Wave and Lick Road. The Film Commissioner for Belize, the one and only Nigel Miguel, and Miss Holly Edgell, the Communication and Marketing Officer for Niche. Good evening, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Good evening, thank you. Yes.
So we're here to talk about the 11th edition of the Belize International Film Festival. Who's going to start off? You, Nigel?
Well, okay, I'll start off, but yes, it's the 11th edition, and it's something that's grown over the years, but I really think this year is very special. We've gone through our little growing pains of the festival, and now we've come to a point where not only do we have good films, but we also have good people involved in the industry that's coming here to share their knowledge, access, and procedures in, the business of filmmaking.
All right, and the films more or less are they only Belize-made films, or they're films, from all over the region, all over Caribbean and what's not?
All over the world.
We get 34 films.
Yeah, I was going to say we get submissions from everywhere, and they break them down and they come up with a suitable number. This year is 34, which I think is a little bit more than last year. Very competitive to get in, so some of the folks, some good films didn't make it, but because we have limited space for the films, I think each year the filmmaking and the films that actually get in are better.
Nigel, for those of us who are not as educated about the matter of film festivals, what exactly is a film festival?
Well, this is my take on it, so let's don't hold me to this, but I see the film festival as a celebration of the industry and a celebration of culture, where we are, like I said, as an industry. In the case of Belize, this is something that's been growing over the years. It actually affects a couple different aspects of our country: tourism, business, like I said, culture. We get a chance to showcase who we are in our films, and then those that come here get a chance to see what Belize is about. Every time someone comes here and leaves, it's like an export that we're sending out. And the film festival gives us a chance to show ourselves in the best light.
And we're here tonight talking everything about the Belize International Film Festival. On set with us, we have Nigel Miguel, the Film Commissioner of Belize, Ms. Holly Edgell, the Communication and Marketing Officer for Niche, and joining us is Dave Brown, Indie Night Film Festival based out of Los Angeles.
Yes.
So, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Quick, what are you doing in Belize?
Oh man, I have the film festival in Los Angeles, and it's the first weekly film festival pretty much in the world.
Oh wow!
It's a platform that I give for everybody, whether you be writers, directors, producers, and what I want to do is show short films. Show short films, web series, trailers, documentaries, and give everybody the opportunity to be seen. My motto of my film festival is, why should you have to wait once a year to be seen, and you miss all this work in between? And if we look at how how the performance in Hollywood is like this, when you're trying to get work, they go, what have you done? And you say, well, I did this film last week or whatever it may be, but I won't be able to see it until
a year from
now. And the thing is for everybody to get work and not miss out on work. So this has been going on. This is my 4th season, going on my 5th season. And Nige being a great friend, I've known him for years. We worked together on a movie in Toronto, Canada, Rebound back in the day, and several commercials back in Hollywood. So he came and saw my film festival and was like, this is great. We need to bring something like this down to Belize. And I was like, he's always been telling me, come down. I said, this would be perfect in Belize, to bring Hollywood to Belize so they can have that, the ownership of having something where all celebrities and everybody in Hollywood comes to Belize to celebrate the making of their films.
Okay.
But explain, the partnership that I am trying to incorporate with Dave's weekly film festival and Belize is that he would travel it.
Yeah.
So maybe one quarter out of the year, he would go to different locations. What I'm asking him is to make one of those locations Belize.
So it's more of a global
Right.
scheme where you're incorporating Belize into it.
Right. Because what I'm doing is now going into my fifth season next year. I'm going to be taking on the road. I'm going to be the American Idol for films. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit all the major cities in the United States, and bring all those films back to Hollywood so they can be seen. There's a lot of talent out there. They told me I was crazy when I said a weekly film festival. I'm like, yeah, because you know what? At the end of the day, we're shooting movies with our cell phones. You know what I'm saying? And they're good. You know what I'm saying? But you got to give. There's a lot of people out there that are able to shoot. There's always films out there, but they just don't know. Where to.
You got to give them a platform for them.
And so I was at. When I was in college in Morehouse, you had to do a short film before you graduated. There were a lot of good short films, but they just didn't know how to get into Hollywood. So if I can be that bridge to bring all that talent in, to give them the opportunity to be seen by those in Hollywood, it gives them just that much more.
So on a weekly basis, it runs one time for the week? You show all the films, or it's for the entire week it goes?
No, what I do is I have 5 films.
Okay.
I show them on Saturdays from 2:30 to 5:30. And then after that's over, I have everybody, we do a Q&A. I have everybody that has something to do with the film and bring them down into the lounge. And it's called my networking part, where it's like this. I have people in the industry there. You saw the people that have something to do with their films. Let's network, let's talk, let's see how we can build and make something happen and build that gap. And that's what, I call it my golf course.
Anything notable has come out of the...
Oh yes. Yeah, there's people that, I have casting directors.
Where the name drop, man?
Yeah, name drop.
Name drop.
Belize people love the name drop,
Well, I mean, we know, I know everybody knows Tyrese Gibson. He did a short film that was executive produced by Denzel and Robbie Reed, who's one of the biggest casting directors in Hollywood, cast as well. And so what we did is we premiered it at Indie Night for the first time. It was wonderful. It was a packed out house. So we had those guys. Morris Chestnut, who's a great actor, is doing good on TV and films, and The Best Man, and all the he's come down and talk. And what I do is I bring the celebrities in so they can talk to those and talk about their journey of how they went through Hollywood. So we can get a little lesson at the same time and understanding what it takes to make it in Hollywood.
So, that said, so we should be expecting that a Maurice Chestnut or something, because I believe the ladies in Belize will be very excited to know that.
They love that, right?
They love that. Even if you give them the illusion that that's about to happen, I think the film festival might sell out.
Hey, always like to travel with friends.
See?
There you go. I always like to bring Hollywood
and
close.
having someone like Dave here for this festival is going to be the start of something really great, I think, because he's also going to be part of the symposium.
Okay.
Of talking about the business side of the realities of making films. I think we're a little bit in our infancy in Belize on that.
When is the symposium?
So the symposium runs over a day and a half. It's Friday, starting at 9 at Bliss. It's free. Registration's at 8:30, starts at 9. A series of workshops and panels. Really encourage people to come out. And then on Saturday, we do a half day with a real focus on Belize, on the issues facing people in Belize who are making films. But I think that just coming out and meeting people, even just to interact at the opening ceremony or see him around the festival, is going to be a great way for some stuff to rub off and some ideas to start to come together.
So who are your prospective audience for this symposium? Because I know the average person would be to say, well, I'm not a filmmaker per se, and I know oftentimes these symposiums, especially if it's the business of film, it's a lot of other stakeholders, or a lot of other persons that might benefit from this.
Right. Well, we really encourage, for example, we have a panel on music video making. So that's going to be very much relevant for Belize. That's a big thing that's happening in Belize now. People are trying to up their game in music video making. So that's going to be one. We want members we know that there are a lot of people in the news media in Belize who want to learn about documentary filmmaking. In fact, we have a whole category that's dominated by Belize-made short documentaries, and we really want to help them up their game. So this symposium can be for anybody who's really interested in getting into that some type of filmmaking, even at a very basic level. So that's Friday. And then Saturday, I think, will be a little bit more to the people who maybe already have dabbled in that filmmaking and really want to get some more of the business side and the realities of what needs to happen in Belize. We also, for Saturday, we want people who are making films in Belize to tell us what are some of the challenges,
Right.
what's happening here. Why would you pick Belize? Why did we not pick Belize or pick Belize as a location? So we're really looking at a lot of different audiences. We'd love if students who are just kind of interested and maybe haven't even done much yet to come out, students of all ages. So Friday and Saturday is the symposium.
You touched on something, and Nigel, I want to come back to you. It's the 11th edition of this. Where would you say we are as Belizeans when it comes to actual films? You know, have we seen over the years it's increased the amount of local filmmakers as compared to when we just started? Where are we? And with this film festival, what I understand the networking more than anything in getting the name out there, but is there a true benefit as in the sense of, you know, having them continue?
Well, yes, there's definitely benefit in having them continue. But first of all, you said, where are we? We're in our infancy stages. But in saying that, from the time I've been associated with the festival as a film commissioner, I've seen it's huge growth, man. But since we're so early in the game, it doesn't look like a lot has been done. But there's huge growth in the films that local filmmakers have done. The best thing that can happen to anybody that's associated or wants to be associated in film is to come out and be a part of it. I say this all the time. The industry, or let's say the film industry, is one of the few industries where you can actually learn and get paid as you learn. Now, as you get better at what you're doing, the scale goes up. But this is one industry that you could come in on an entry level and actually get compensated while you're learning. Now, it might not be your traditional way of taking in knowledge, but for us as a people and as a country, it is the best thing that's out there happening. And young kids, old people, it doesn't matter. If you have that interest and desire, this is where it's at. Then the other thing, creativity. We're very creative people. What we don't know are the proper processes to getting it done. So you demystify everything, and you get the professionals to come in here and tell you how to do it. So you're not guessing anymore. You keep your creativity with the proper knowledge about what you're doing. It's a winning combination. But we need people like this that we have here to come in, man, and give of their time, because, you know, for us to actually have to pay folks to come in and do these type of things, it wouldn't happen. So the fact that we have this beautiful place and these people that are here are all passionate about what they're doing, wanting to share, we got to take advantage of that. You know?
I can see that some of the work so far as in the industry in Belize has taken great steps. Maybe 5 years ago, in fact, I've looked at a lot of the videos lately. I was just talking to my friend and co-host over there talking about Kevin Turknan, joking and saying, man, Taloti to make videos, and it was
a lot of
actually,
people wouldn't know that.
and it was actually a really good
video.
Yes.
a really
Yes.
good video. You know,
And-
it's
and-
normally before we could say, boy, immediately we used to be able to say, we used to have this thing, you know, Belizean video that you could see the low quality, but now, so far, the quality is excellent.
Kevin has lifted the level
Yeah.
of this game in a major way. You know, they're to be commended for what they've done, because they have. But like you said, you can look and you can just see, you know, and not to be critical of anybody's work, because first and foremost, you got to try.
Yes.
Now, once you're trying, if you don't know the ABCs of doing something, you have to bring somebody in to help you. And that's how you get better. I always tell people, hey man, I'm not here to judge your work. If I critique it, it's to make it better. I'm not
Right.
being critical of you because we all had to start somewhere.
And in fact, we have a category, an award category just for music videos, just for Belize entries
Oh, nice.
this year. So we have 17 music videos. That's a lot of music videos for
Yeah,
a
that's a-
country like Belize, right? They had to have been made in Belize by Belizean
By
composers.
Belizeans,
We
I,
have,
I think about Carlo Hamid, sorry to cut you
Yeah.
off, some of his videos that he did
Very
with
good.
Santa
Yep.
Carta.
so that person will receive actually a cash award that is being sponsored by our music ambassador Shine and BTL Digicel for GLTE. So on Sunday night, it's going to be a really fun night because Sunday night is going to be the party, the awards for the music videos, the awards for the other categories, but we're going to have a concert type of environment at Bliss.
At the Bliss.
And it's going to be like $15, and you're going to see all these great artists come out. Ernestine will be there. Blackberry will be there. A lot of the few people who you will have seen in these categories will be there. And it's really going to be a great place to look at how far we've come in the music video part. And that's an art form in itself, and some people might build on that and do more. And some people might just want
Wanna
to
do
flourish
it.
in that genre. So we're really excited about that category because we made it just for Belize entries.
So let's just go over the schedule for the
sure,
weekend, because
sure.
we need to know what's happening when and where,
A
and
lot
how
is
much you have to pay.
happening.
Are you free?
So I think-
Are you free?
I think this is a bargain. I mean, it's $10 to see either you're going to see a feature film, or you might see 2 shorts, or you might see some of the shorter documentaries. But the great thing too that you get is the filmmakers are in-house, right? A lot of filmmakers have come in for this, and you can ask them questions. So you get that film, and then you get a panel or a person or someone to talk to. Why did you make this film? What was your inspiration? So $10 for individual films, and they're going to be running throughout the day, starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday. $25 for the opening red carpet tomorrow night, which you're going to get 2 films and an opening ceremony, and plus the red carpet, which is always fun because you get to sort of
Yeah.
put on your nice fun outfit and go through. And then $15 for the closing night. But the symposium is free, like I said.
Okay.
So we actually had a pre-festival event tonight just to kick things off. We just came from there. That was the screening of an American film called Being Charlie that dealt with a drug-addicted teenager. It's directed by Rob Reiner. And we partnered with the Chief Magistrate and the Ministry of Health because we wanted to talk about drug treatment and addiction and the drug treatment courts that are being talked about. So we just left there. But the opening ceremony is tomorrow night. 6 to 8 is the red carpet. 8 o'clock starts the actual ceremony itself. And then, of course, we hit the ground running Friday morning with the symposium. You can do that, or you can decide to see films all day if you want. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then, and we have films from Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, India, South Africa, Mexico, Argentina. I mean, the diversity of the films. Bosnia. I mean, the diversity of the films. They're subtitled. Tomorrow night, we're very proud to present a Belize-made film. It's a short called Yoshi. It was made in the Toledo district with Belizean actors. It's in English, Creole, and Maya. So that filmmaker's coming, and she's actually arranging to bring in a bus of kids and actors that were in the film so they could be at opening night because she did use a lot of local talent. So that's going to be a big highlight. And then paired with that is a Guatemalan film also with Maya themes. And these are both set in contemporary times in Maya communities dealing with certain contemporary issues. So you get 2 movies tomorrow night after the opening ceremony.
Right, that's
I look
good
forward
stuff.
It's a
Is
lot.
there any other major, we talked about the fact that you're running, that it runs over these next few days, but is there any other major event happening during this weekend that you would want to highlight?
I would say the closing night, the concert is going to be big because it's the awards. We have our jurors who you're going to meet in a few minutes who are actually here working, looking at every single entry, every single film, trying to decide what's going to come up. So you're going to have the awards. I think it's going to be very rewarding. You're going to see a special award for an environmentally themed film, a special award for Best Belize Entry, is that right?
Yep.
A special music video award, and then everybody we'll get a feature film. There'll be a feature film award, a short feature film award, documentary award and a short documentary award. So it's going to be a really cool night.
One question. I know normally, is there anything beyond just the prestige of winning one of these music festivals? Maybe you can speak
guys
to
can
this,
talk
that
about it, yeah.
like if even though it's a relatively new film festival in the scheme of things, you know, I know that there are more popular ones, well, older ones throughout the world. Is there any benefit to a filmmaker? Like you said, people are coming from Kosovo, all over the world to enter their films into this. Is there any benefit from your perspective?
Oh yeah, I believe there's always benefits, because at the end of the day, you know, when you're sitting in a room with those that are creative minds, and they're seeing your art, and they're seeing your work. I mean, when you go down and you talk to them, I mean, there's a lot of people who've gotten a lot of work, or even had situations where they went into the networks and talked to them about how to make it, creating that short into a feature, or creating it into a TV movie of the week. You know, so it's a lot of stuff. You're crossing a lot of avenues to where you can really network and get to know, because the people in the room are those that are really making the wheel turn in Hollywood.
And I do think that, you know, this film festival, to attract what we've attracted in terms of entries, but also the jurors that we have, the people who are coming in, the quality is there. And I think that people know if they win this, I'm going to bring on, look, you can see the trophy that you get. If you win it, then you can also put on your trailer and on your social media and on your marketing materials that thing that says that you are a winner, right? Or you were even a selection can be considered. And people know that there's a peer judging process that this happens. It's not just...
And prestigious judges at that. So with that, we have to pay these bills. And we'll come back with the jurors who are a esteemed panel.
Yes.
But before we go, just a quick drop. If you're looking for a bilingual, multicultural actor, I am free. You can contact OJ, he's my agent.
Yes.
So just a name drop. You got my back, right, Jude?
I just want to go on the record right quick and let everybody know that I will also be looking at films and wanting them to bring them to Hollywood so they can be seen. So I want to let everybody know that this is what it's going to be. It's going to be that type of platform. And I told Nigel, I said, to bring it there so people can be seen. So I will be doing that as well, because like we start, you know, my season goes from the second week of January all the way around to December 2nd. And we're at the TCL Chinese Theater, which is in Hollywood, which is huge. You know, it's a big thing, you know. And, you know, everybody should look up Indie Night, you know, on Instagram.
And it's on Facebook too.
Yeah, and on Facebook, yeah. Indie Night, INDIENIGHTFF.com.
Enjoy the film festival, but
Thank you.
most of all, enjoy Belize.
Thank you.
Some Belizean food.
And remember us if anyone's looking for some.
Talent.
Multicultural actors.
Some talent.
Talent.
Well, yeah, I got you.
I'll be his agent, you'll be mine. Anyways, folks, we'll be right back after this break.
Ala kaba. Ala kaba.
Asukuno tuta.
So you just forgot how to talk, is that it? I want to make you really better as I used to be before I left. I owe Sonny money. I need to pay back my money, and if you got anything, you can help me out with it.
But I don't know if you really up to it, because I got one job off a coaching check.
And welcome back to Meckwave and Lick Road. I'm your host, Dion Leslie.
And I'm your co-host, OJ Elrington.
And what you saw, ladies and gentlemen, before they came back to us is the trailer for one of the films that will be featured in the festival named Yoshi, shot in Belize in the Toledo district, and the cast and crew 100% Belize. So something exciting, basically sort of a homemade movie in the essence with the crew and the cast. We're back to the film festival. On set now, we've changed up. We have with us the jurors, the judges, so to speak,
Yes.
who will be looking at the films and recommending or not recommending the films for awards. On set we have Mr. Sandro Halfen
Hi, nice to meet you.
from Mexico City,
Yes.
Mr. Andre Bennett from Canada,
Toronto.
Toronto, Canada, and the only lady on the set, Alejandra Cuso from Argentina. Welcome to the set.
Thank you.
Welcome to Lick Road. Bienvenido a Belize. We'll start with you, Sandro. What do you do in Mexico City, and how did you get into coming to Belize for this film festival?
Well, I'm a film producer and distributor in Mexico. I work for a company there called Corazon Films. And I'm sorry?
Heart film.
Yeah, heart films, yeah.
Any novellas
Films from
that we
the
might be-
heart.
Any novellas that
No,
the
we
Belize
don't.
Republic-
We don't do
okay.
novelas. But the owner of Corazon Films did a lot of novelas, actually. Yeah, I don't know if you remember a big one in the '90s called Nada Personal. Well, yeah.
No, but
It's
the one I remember that my mom used to force me to watch was Dos Mujeres Un Camino.
Okay. Yeah. I remember that one with Eric Estrada and Bibi Gaitan. Anyway, so I got contacted by Michelle Vanzi, who is the consul of Belize in Mexico City. She went to see a movie that I produced called Sundown. And she told me about the festival and if I would be interested in coming down as a juror, and I said absolutely. Then I met Nigel from the Film Commission, who is doing an excellent job promoting Belize as a destination for film production in general. So I am here as a juror, but I am also here to visit the country and see what productions we can bring down here.
All right.
Great. Before you move on, what, for the rest of us that, because we always see these credits going down the screen, what exactly does a producer do?
Good question. I don't know. No, I'm kidding.
Any one of those jobs.
Basically, producers have, I would say, three main jobs. Finding the resources to make the movie, meaning finding the money, which is the hardest part of making films. Then administering that money, making sure it doesn't run out while we're shooting. And then once the movie's complete, we try to sell the film. So those are our three jobs.
Great.
Okay. Mr. Bennett from Canada, same question. What do you do, and how did you end up here?
Well, I have my own company called Cinema Esperanza, the Cinema of Hope, and I use the Portuguese spelling because I didn't want it to be English or French, because in Canada it's bilingual country, either French or English. Anyway, I met Suzette last year at another festival, and she invited me here, so I was really happy to come. What do? I produce, distribute, and sell internationally feature films and documentaries.
Oh, okay. So basically the same thing, but in Canada. And the Señora Alejandra Cuso de Argentina. I'll speak in Spanish because she doesn't speak much English. OJ speaks perfect Spanish.
Perfect.
Perfect kitchen Spanish.
Yes.
¿Cuánto? Tú vienes de Argentina.
Sí.
¿Qué haces en Argentina? El mismo de estos muchachos que están aquí.
Bueno, yo soy productora y realizadora de cine documental.
Cine documental.
Fundamentalmente. Y lo que te puedo comentar que en Argentina los últimos 10 años ha crecido mucho el cine documental y según las estadísticas es el 50% del cine de nuestro país, con muchísimo menos presupuesto, pero se están haciendo 160 películas por año, de las cuales 80 son documentales. Documentales que, bueno, ganan muchos premios internacionales, se estrenan con buen éxito en las salas. Nos faltan distribuidores, así que espero acá poder lograr una buena distribución para las películas de mi país.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sandro. She basically said that she does documentary films in Argentina on a large scale, and to sum it up, over the years, the documentary aspect in Argentina of filmmaking has grown substantially. ¿Cómo llegaste aquí en Belize para este festival?
Bueno, Muy agradecida por la invitación. Llegué porque tengo hace mucho tiempo contactos con el festival a través de gente que trabaja acá permanentemente, y la Embajada de Argentina en México me contactó también con la idea de, me parece, complementar una mirada de los colegas acá que tienen un perfil altamente industrial y con una gran experiencia en distribución y producción, y tal vez, como el festival le dedica un gran espacio a los documentales, aportar desde ese lugar la mirada de documentalistas.
¿No es la primera vez que has venido a este festival?
No, es la primera vez.
Es la primera, okay.
Sí, sí.
Basically, she said through good relationships that she's held with people from the festival, she's been able to come, and the festival features a lot of documentaries, and so it's right up her alley, basically.
Yeah.
So, question to ask.
I wanted
Go
to
ahead.
ask a question. I know that before, when we were on break, we were talking about some of the inhibitors to actually having large-scale productions and having a more thriving film industry in Belize. I know that in Canada, they have some unique set of legislation or laws or incentives for the film industry. I think, in fact, so much so that a lot of the U.S. films have started to actually be made in Canada. And in fact, a lot of the music videos are made in Canada as well. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, there's a lot of financing that's available in Canada, so that attracts a lot of Americans up to Canada, to either Toronto or Vancouver, and a few instances Montreal. Most countries have many countries have similar programs. In Western Europe, in South America, and Mexico have some similar programs like that. So their tax incentives are available in Toronto or in Canada, whether it's Toronto, Montreal, or Vancouver, to entice people to come up and shoot the movies there.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's important because, and I know that the Belize Coalition of Service Providers is one of the partners in the film festival, and one of the things that we were working on is the Canada CARICOM trade agreement, which would allow Belizean films to be treated as local Canadian films, that so we could benefit from that type of incentive program. And so I'm just trying to connect the dots for some people that may not see the connection, and also the fact that now we have direct flights to Canada. So
everything's working out perfectly.
Everything is lining up perfectly. So
but back to the festival, what will you all be looking for in these movies, specifically to make them stand out, to make them be considered to win one of the awards? It's a tough question. I know there's so many things, but you know, one specific thing.
Quality. It has to come from your own heart, not a formula, not something you think this might be good because A, B, and C tell you that it's good, or you don't want to replicate that something that you think is worthwhile. It's got to come from your heart, and then you have to learn how to translate that feeling, that sensibility, whatever it is inside of you, to the screen, and that's where other people's help is important. Okay. Not to provide you with a ticket to Hollywood. Forget that. I mean, if you're a serious filmmaker, you want to find people that'll help you achieve your dream of getting stuff out of yourself, not your dream of making a lot of money.
But Andre, I understand that, but I want us to also understand, or maybe you would be best in the best position, and any of you can answer this question, because we often look at films and think of just the mega blockbuster films, but obviously it's an industry, and the ultimate objective is for persons to be able to earn a living from it. All three of you work full-time in the industry, so can you give us an idea of what maybe a small documentary, well-produced one, might be able to gross for a producer, like a small one?
How much money?
Yeah, how much money you can, because money is relative. I mean, money for Sony is different than money for the Belizean artist, a Belizean producer, a Belizean director. In Belize, you make this amount from it. So I'm just trying to say that maybe if we get an idea of maybe a small, well-produced, in using the formula that you're talking about, what could it actually make?
Well, that's not the kind of. I would prefer to go from another point of view.
Okay, sure.
It's not how much money you're gonna make.
You sound like an artist.
If you're a painter,
Yes.
a poet,
Yes.
a musician, you don't go on the basis what kind of poetry should I write? What kind of novel should I write? What kind of music should I make in order to make money? And how much money can I make if I make this kind of poem, that kind of literature, that kind of song? No.
Yeah.
So express your artistic meaning.
Pardon me?
It's more or less to express your artistic meaning and get out what's
Exactly. And then it's, if you're a poet, that's a very solo kind of activity. If you're a filmmaker, it's a collaboration. That's where it's important for other people to become involved, to help you realize your own passion.
Excellent.
I have a more superficial view of filmmaking.
I was looking for the superficial view.
Yes, I can see that.
One thing to say is,
I'm an attorney,
my wife
so-
is still waiting for me to make some money.
No, the thing is that he's right. I mean, a film festival is exactly the kind of forum where you can see movies that you cannot see in the mainstream, right? And these movies tend to have a deeper authorship, and I guess that's what he's referring to. Ultimately, this is a very interesting time for alternate content, for films that are not commercial or that are not made for huge movie theaters. Because right now we have all these new platforms like Netflix,
exactly.
that are buying a lot of alternative content.
Yes.
So what these platforms are looking for is quality. It's 100% about quality and originality, which is something that Andrea was pointing at. Sometimes to sell your movies, you don't need to follow a formula, especially for these new platforms. And these new platforms are making some money for independent producers. It's very hard to give you a quota. It all depends on what territories you sell, the amount of releases that your film has had, like where has it been shown before, if it's won prizes at film festivals, if it hasn't. Like, there are so many variables. What is very important is, I think, to stop thinking about films just from the perspective of the director, just from the perspective of the author. If we want to make a film industry in Belize, and I think that's what the government here is trying to do, what you need to do is to create a lot of professional positions. And a film is like a small company. You know, it can employ hundreds of people, from drivers to directors, to producers, to cinematographers, to people that... Musicians,
Caterers,
actors,
everything.
cameras, lights. And what we need is people who specialize in certain things, people who learn trades. I mean, the thing that is so beautiful about film is that you can be creative doing so many different things. I don't like to see film as just the author, the director. I think that in order to create an industry, you have to go much beyond that.
Excellent, and I think that answers and it ties perfectly into the business symposium element of the festival, which talks about how we can create professional standards and how you can actually create an industry per se, so that we can have these different professionals. But yes, you all spoke of quality. You both spoke of quality. Could you maybe break down that idea? I'm trying to, for our viewers, so they can understand what quality means. Because for me, you know, and like you said, when it's an art form, it's very tough for you to say what is quality. Because sometimes I see films which are mega blockbusters, which to me,
Suck.
Quality is so poor.
yes.
It's first of all, it's a collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a soccer ball team from Brazil, for example, it's not just one guy. It's not just Pele. There's offense, defense, the middle, whatever you call them.
Midfield.
It's a
Midfield.
collaboration.
Yeah, Brazil
So what's
learned
critically
that.
important is the cinematographer, the composer, music composer, the editor. People talk too much about directors, but the editor is a director. So when I say collaboration, I mean young filmmakers, people here who want to make a film, they can find people they can work with, that can help them get from their heart out on the screen. They have to work with a cinematographer, with an editor, with a musician, that kind of thing.
Excellent.
How far would originality come in this, in you deciding, because when you look at it, the type of story, more than likely it's been done somewhere, somehow, so how do you look at originality in it?
Well, I think that we've seen a bunch of very original films. First of all is the storyline. You don't want to see the typical stories. You want to see something that is more enticing, something that gets your brains going, something that you have, exactly, fresh, that you have not seen before. Then you want it to be made in such a way that it holds your attention. In this day and age, with the internet and your phones and everything, it's so hard to concentrate. And you need something that can capture you. And when I say about quality, that I think that's how it is. It's something that can actually hold you.
Yes.
Maybe, yes, you're right, those American blockbusters suck, but they hold your attention for 90 minutes. And that's because they're giving you all these eye candy.
Yeah.
Now, if you can mix eye candy with substance, then you have a great film.
So you're saying that the Belizean filmmakers need to put me and Dion in these films, because you talked about eye candy, what they need is
No,
eye candy.
I'm saying that
That's why he's perfect.
I'm saying they need to put me in.
Well, anyways, they're giving us the wrap-up sign, so we need to start. Any final words?
I just want to say thank you to the Film Commission, to the government of Belize, to the film festival organizers, to Suzette, for doing a wonderful job. I think that it's an incredible effort. It's beautiful that what they're doing. And I hope that people do go to the film festival, because there are a lot of really good films out there.
There's some great films to see here that are at the festival. Festival doing a real service here.
Alejandra, ¿algo que quieres decir?
Que concurra mucha gente al festival y bueno, muy agradecida por conocer este país.
I think Belize people can understand that. OJ looks lost, but for you, OJ, she said, it's a pleasure to be here, and she invites everyone out.
That's not true. She said she liked the dreadlocks. She was giving you her room number at the hotel.
See, that's why I need to brush up on my Spanish. That's exactly.
Just say gracias.
Yeah, that's always gracias. That's always.
Just say I'll be there at 10.
Yeah.
Just say gracias. Well, it's a
You guys have been
pleasure.
great.
Again, the film festival's this weekend. Right.
From tomorrow until Sunday.
You have the schedule in front of you. So
I don't want to go through all the days. It starts tomorrow at what time? It's the opening gala. The red carpet starts at 6. Goes on, and after that they have the 2 films. It runs throughout the weekend, Friday and Saturday, at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. And on Sunday is the closing ceremony. That's going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. Films run before that as well, 6 until 8 p.m. That's the 4G Light Closing Night Award Ceremony, presented by our friend, the music ambassador, Mr. Shine Barrow, and BTL, and that is at 6 to 8, like you said. The website is, I believe it's BelizeFilmFestival.com. Can't miss it.
Miss it.
And remember my friend Dave Brown's Facebook page.
What's that? Indie Night FF, right, Dave?
Yes.
IndieNightFF.com. Soon you'll see me on OJ, so you guys stick to that. We'll be there, right?
Yes. And speaking of reality TV, you know, we normally have our closing words. The biggest reality TV star there is in the world just
Is
became
now the
now
most powerful man in the world.
the most powerful man in the world. And like I was sharing on my this fragile piece we have in the world, right?
Well, there's so much I could say, and we could ramble on all night. A whole new segment with Lick Road about the U.S. elections, our thoughts, what we expect, what we don't expect, what surprised us. But the only thing that stands out to me, and once again, I just have to say I would not want to live anywhere else in this world except Belize.
That's right.
You watch after the election, the divisiveness, the divide within the U.S. In Belize, yes, we have that during election time. You have your red, your blue, you agree with this one and one. But at the end, once the ballots are counted, we all come back together as one country, and we're waiting to see how will that be in the U.S. when you still have people who are so upset. People are still divided because what was said by each candidate on one side. This one said that. This one commented about that genre, about that race. But in Belize, yeah, we go through that. But election day, the only when election day, once the ballots are counted and so, we all go back to neighbor, boy, we do next week, boy, we do tomorrow, make we go for lunch tomorrow. So I say, you know, appreciate what we have. It's a beautiful country. We have beautiful people, good understanding, and our democratic process, I think it's top-notch compared to a lot of other places in the region and throughout the entire world.
I concur with you, my brother. So until next week.
So with that said, stay safe, Belize. Stay tuned next week for another edition of Make Wave and Lick Road. If you don't see me and Urson here next week, that means we made it.
Yes, Hollywood bomb.
Take care.